We are getting serenaded by the church across the street from our cabin, or I guess our hotel room now, in the lodge up Mount Lemmon. Pretty good way to start the couple days. And that was taps by somebody. I don't know. At the end of the day, here on Mount Lemmon.
We are out on a hike up on the top of Mount Lemmon, the Meadow Trail, at the end of July. Let's go around the towers you can see from our house. Definitely all hazy, foggy, smoggy in there, isn't it?
Nasty.
I wonder if that's the Grand Canyon smoke or...
Whatever it is. Ugly. Stupid.
That's the whole Wilderness of Rocks area.
Oh yeah, the clear signs. That's what every picture looks like. Is that face right there.
Hard to believe there's a cactus desert down there, isn't it? There's the lookout tower we're going to walk to.
Yep. And maybe they spray them and kill them off because they don't want bears in this area.
That seems like
They force them to go somewhere else where they are, you know?
That seems like a...
Well, I agree. But
digging a hole in the beach.
I suppose it's better than shooting them once they start eating out of somebody's garbage can, right?
True. You can hear all the bees. This white stuff, they like it, don't they?
Yeah, some kind of spirea, but I don't know exactly what it is. Well, that's what it looks like to me. It could be something completely different, but
It always amazes and fascinates me how there's all that rolling, rocky, treed, mountainy terrain, and then all of a sudden, boom, desert. Well, we're up here at the Mount Lemmon lookout. Once again closed. Bummer. Pretty though. It's on the edge of this cliff. You can see the buildings over there. That's Summer Haven, where our hotel is, and that big tank you see up on the hill, I think that's the one that's we can see from our balcony. Had a big fire here a few years ago. 2021 maybe? 2020? Can't remember now. You get a picture of that? We're in the Cloudcroft, Mexico area, starting out on the OSHA Hike Trail Loop on a nice 50-degree morning at 8,000 feet. Looks like clouds or smog or fog or something, but it's really the white sands, isn't it?
It is. 8,000 feet down there.
Yeah, quite a few feet down. There's the trestle. What's the trestle called? What's the name of it? Muscalera?
No.
Mexican trestle?
Yes.
There we go, Mexican trestle. No tracks on it anymore, obviously.
Restored, used in 1947 to bring people and goods up here, and restored in 2010 by the U.S. Forest Service as a historical artifact. What was in the woods. Craig stopped right in front of me on the trail. This little deer on the trail, directly in front of me.
I just saw him go up that way.
Okay. His little ear is right here. Oh, baby.
I can see him.
Oh. Did somebody feed you? I'm sorry. I know. I know. A sweet baby. I know. Yeah. Where's the mama?
Big aspen grove in here, but it's just so dry. Well, I had a little bit of a climb coming up here back to the junction of the loop. It was all in the shade though. Made it back to the trailhead. Figure out what our next hike's going to be, huh? Starting out on the Cloud Climbing Trestle Trail. This takes us down to see the trestle. Oh look, steps, our favorite. And overlook the valley down into Alamogordo and White Sands way out in the distance. Pretty nice overlook, huh? They built a railroad from Alamogordo up here to Cloudcroft. It took them 2 years to build it.
In 1899 to 1901. That
little switchback trail. Well, we went down a few switchbacks, a few hundred feet, and then climbed back up a little bit because the rails to trails cut through is closed because of private property. Right here. This is supposed to be rails to trails, but it's not. It's private property. You got 1/8 of a mile to go. All right, here's the bridge overlook. Here is the bridge overlook, which was our destination, or is our destination. I was hoping that you could go across the bridge, but it doesn't look like it. Rails to trails and you can't go across the bridge seems kind of useless to me, but that's how it is.
Built in 1899 of local Douglas fir, the Mexican Canyon Trestle is as long as a football field and as tall as a 6-story building. It is the largest trestle still standing in the Lincoln National Forest and is listed on the National Register of Historic Places. Crossing the Mexican Canyon Trestle was an unforgettable experience for passengers on the Alamogordo and Sacramento Mountain Railway. Author Dorothy Jensen Neal said, "From the middle of the swaying trestle, looking to the top of a towering escarpment or glancing at the floor of the canyon below, no doubt a few passengers wondered if they would ever live to tell of the spectacle, and if so, why?"
Good one. There's the highway overlook up there. They back up the trail about 1.25 miles, up and down. Kind of a steep switchback we'll have to do on the way back. All right, I think this is our climb out. This is the remainders of the S trestle. It collapsed in 1960. Last use was around 1947.
They compass 2 30-degree turns. 338 feet long and 60 feet high. On one trip, a locomotive pulled 41 empty log cars and a caboose for a net weight of 334 tons.
All right, we decided to walk down to the bottom.
It's not really the bottom, it's just, and actually, steps that have an even rise are much better than steps that have a 18-inch rise followed by a 4-inch rise, followed by a 12-inch rise, followed by a whatever. That's fine. I can do this. These are all even. I just thought I saw, yeah, see I saw the regular tree. Maybe I was wrong.
Well, there's steps up the other side. We'll see if it goes up to the trail. All right, up the other side. Cut through.
Let's have to go back along the path.
Made it. Came through the back way though on the alternate return route that we talked about, weren't planning on doing, were we? But the S-turn bridge, trestle, S-turn trestle route took us through Devil's Notch and Devil's Elbow. I haven't gotten a single thing right yet. There's a depot over there, see?
Yep.
We are on the Sunspot Highway out to Sunspot Solar Observatory, just south of Cloudcroft. We are at the Haynes Canyon Vista Overlook. Jennifer's doing what she does best, reading a sign. We are in Capitan, New Mexico, thriving metropolis here, home of where Smokey the Bear was found, and this is the Smokey the Bear Historical Museum and Park.
So, he must have had damage, hence the hot foot teddy thing, you know?
Inside the little Smokey the Bear Memorial, he was 2.5 months old and 5 pounds when they found him up in a tree with burns from the fire and lost his mother. And they rescued him and took him to Santa Fe, and some pilot adopted him and healed him. This is the little historic park here, and we're on our way to see Smokey the Bear's grave. All right, read about him.
Read this? Smokey retired from the Forest Service on May 2nd, 1975. He was 25 years old. That's 70 years old in human years, which in those days is the mandatory retirement age for all federal employees. Smokey was honored as the first bear to become a full-fledged member of the National Association of Retired Federal Employees. At age 26, he died peacefully in his sleep of old age in our nation's capital. The date was November 9th, 1976, our nation's bicentennial year. Among many suggestions, burying Smokey in the Capitan Mountains near where he was found was considered a fitting final chapter, but concerns of vandalism and the virtually inaccessible site made another proposal prevail, to bury him in the town of Capitan. It had been said that although Smokey belongs to everyone, the people of Capitan love him just a little bit more. Quietly, still suspect of vandals, his remains were flown to Albuquerque, driven to Capitan, and a respectful burial took place. Shortly after, a dedication ceremony was held and attended by over 200 guests. The boulder that marks his grave was brought down from the forest where he was found. He lives in the hearts of children, a symbol of pride to the people of New Mexico. His name is synonymous with forest fire prevention nationwide, and he is the world's most well-known and beloved bear. For years and years to come, people can visit Smokey's graveside and pay their respect to this American legend.
Good one. Very nice little park. This is Fort Stanton.
Yep, same thing.
Frontier fort, and then ended up also being an internment camp for German prisoners of war, sailors, right? Enlisted barracks from 1855 is how this is set up.
Two soldiers slept in each bed, head to toe and back to back. In this fashion, a company of up to 80 men could be housed in a barracks room this size.
Supply room. Here's the other side of Fort Stanton. So we're learning more about Fort Stanton. It was a frontier fort, and it was a tuberculosis hospital, and it was burned to prevent advancing Confederate forces to take it in the Civil War, and then rebuilt. In the 40s, it developed revolutionary tuberculosis treatment. Now we're in Lincoln, New Mexico, base of the Lincoln County Wars and Billy the Kid and the Tunstals. The town has pretty much just been preserved as a historic monument. People live here, but it's not a big tourist town. Just the main street, walking up and down it. Bunch of private homes.
Of men were buried in a small cemetery located behind the store, including John Tunstall and Alexander McSween.
Well, this is Tunstall and McSween's grave markers right here.
McSween was the lawyer, and Tunstall was the store owner.
This is the Lincoln County Courthouse where Billy the Kid was arrested and held up and made his escape, and supposedly there's a bullet hole in the wall from him shooting it. We'll see what we see. Quiet day in Lincoln, that's for sure. There's a safe. Billy the Kid. There it is. That must be the bullet hole right there. Don't know what that hole is. But that one's got plexiglass over it. This is the courthouse, huh? Billy the Kid's leg items.
Yeah, cut off. See the little apron?
This is the Masonic Hall here, up by the courthouse. I know what this stuff is, but here we go. Here's the history of the Masonic Hall. L.G. Murphy established the Masonic Hall.
In the room of the general store. This is a place where how the lodge may have appeared in the 19th century. Following Masonic lodges in Mexico contributed furnishings. They all helped out by donating things. You may find Mr. Dunlap at the local cedar shop next to the Torion.
I don't know where that is.
The Torion is that big, like, chimney thing. We walk right by.
This is San Juan Mission Church. See what's inside. Looks like it's still an active church.